declaring that you will not hand over, although the correction there by the former deputy president that there's no such provision for handing over, it's simply the assumption of office.
Yeah.
But what kind of risk is involved with such kind of statements?
Yeah, some of those statements are so based in the sense that the machine of taking over by the incoming president is so clear that the Constitution does provide. By the time the results are declared and the gazettemen of the team that has won, the president and his deputy or her deputy, the rest is actually basic functions of the Constitution. And if he thinks that he's going to run away from that responsibility, then he's deluding himself. In the sense that, and you know, listen, Fred, he doesn't realize there were two things that he was given. One was the Constitution of the Republic, and the sword. And you realize even at the beginning of time, he displayed the sword more than the Constitution, which means he himself thought that this is about fighting. That sword is actually supposed to protect us. It is not a sword that is supposed to be turned against us like the way he has turned against young Kenyans. But more important is that listen even to Governor Lusaka talking about making government look like chapati. No, really, you cannot equate government to that. If somebody does not meet the threshold in terms of the votes, like the way they know, they are unlikely to get even 40% of all the votes cast. They have to just vacate the place. And it is not we, the politicians, who will give them that vacation notice. It is the people of this country that are already sick and tired. But finally, let me remind my good friend, President William Ruto, that the first assignment of any political formation, whether it's a political party, whether it's a coalition, whether it's a group of individuals who have decided that we are running for office, the first place of call is to take over power. Once you take over power, there is something that we call the manifesto that is supposed to be presented on the eve of elections. And we are not presenting the manifesto to him. We are presenting the manifesto to the people of Kenya to make a choice between us and him. But the most important thing, people know the impunity that has visited, corruption, and many other ills that is afflicting our society are the things that we want to remove him so that we reverse the trend of what is happening. Otherwise, he cannot say he's not going to hand over power. He has no capacity. He has, he has no power to refuse to hand over power.
Okay. Bwana Pugisho, the real concern among Kenyans is that smooth handover or smooth transition from one administration to another, because we saw back in 2007, 2008, what happened when there's a bit of confusion in that process. Such statements could cause a lot of concern to Kenyans. Don't you think that probably this should not be?